to the Beef Tongue Podcast. I'm here. I'm Jack with Cola and Walker.
Hola.
Yes, I'm Walker.
About to bring you some fun facts. I'll start off. Fun fact number one. Robin Williams, RIP, was offered and accepted the role to be the Joker in the 1989 film Batman. Now, he wasn't the Joker in Batman. And the only reason why he was offered the role was because Warner Brothers wanted to bait their first choice, which was Jack Nicholson, into signing on, which he eventually did. So they offered Robin Williams the chance to be the Joker. He agreed to do it, but it was done so that they can pull Jack Nicholson to be the Joker. And when Robin Williams found out, he was pissed and demanded the studio to give him an apology. I don't know if he ever got that apology, but that was that story.
He probably doesn't want to work for Warner Brothers anymore.
I feel like he would have made a good Riddler.
I think he could have been Joker, a good Joker.
You're telling others jokes.
Start being funny.
Yeah.
Riddler would work too. I mean, Jim Carrey did the Riddler, so
I think Robin Williams can pull it off.
As a Joker?
Yeah, I think he can pull it off.
at the time though, he was doing Popeye or Hook or something like that.
Yeah, I was doing Popeye. But that I don't think a lot of people will be happy with him playing the Joker.
Yeah, because he's like a bad guy, and he didn't usually play villains until later on in his career, right?
Yeah.
But Jack, yeah, that's kind of messed up in a way, just to bait somebody to join your film.
I mean,
That happens all the time.
But yeah, it happens a lot.
It would be a surprising move based on, just general like showbiz and movie business.
Arnold Schwarzenegger tricked Sylvester Stallone to taking a movie for I Shot Your Mom or something like that.
How do you do that?
Because he said Arnold Schwarzenegger got the script first, read it, and he was like, "This is a terrible, terrible movie." And as a joke, he sent it over to Sylvester Stallone saying that, "Hey, this is a great movie. I think you should do it." And he did the movie, and then bombed at the box office.
Well, what's it called again?
I think shut up, my mom has a gun or something like that. I don't know. It's something like, it's a long title.
Mm-hmm.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Stallone tried to complain, but no one understood.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine they both have an argument with each other? No one would understand what they were saying. Yeah, Cole, you're right. This looks like a terrible movie.
Yeah.
That means
You see it, right? Yeah. Is it stop or my mom will shoot?
Stop! Exclamation point! Or my mom will shoot.
Okay.
It's just like, is it at least one of those movies that's just like so terrible that it's good?
No, it's not even a cult film.
Damn.
I randomly saw it on an afternoon on a local broadcast. So
I don't know. Just because it's just like nowadays it's just like people look for the terrible movies just to rave about how good of a time they had watching them.
not this one. All right, my fun fact. Close to 40% of people are good at one type of self-control, like saving money, but bad at another, like eating healthy.
Like No Nut November? Where's the 40% for them?
I don't know. I think that's they're the 40%. They're good at one thing, but then they fail at nothing. It's like it's like people who smoke cigarettes. It's like people who promise themselves that they'll like what's the no, that's a terrible one. That's a terrible example. Oh, it's like people trying to go work out on New Year's Day and promising themselves that they'll do it, but then they fuck up on that and they go do something else. No? Okay, that's a bad idea. Okay.
I think you're talking about like 99% of the American.
But I mean, I think that's a good thing. It's like self-control, like money, and then probably not people who don't eat or fasting or don't eat bad. It's like try to eat good and stuff like that. And I know a few people are good about that.
Yeah. So what would you be considered good at?
Shoot, probably saving money.
That's not bad. I mean, it's a skill nonetheless, and it's like I think that's one of those skills that's been diluted across culture. So it's just like it's become the 101 for that culture. Yeah. What would you be good at, Jack?
For
The one thing that you're good at.
Yeah, if you're like knowing that you're part of the 40%.
Like that's like consistently do you're on it all the time.
I'll probably clean up after myself.
Oh, that's like
There's some people surprisingly don't
more
know
of a
how to
nurse.
do that.
I mean, ordinarily I'd laugh, but then like I know people who don't, so it's just kind of funny. Or like full grown adults who don't.
Yeah, for me, like I live alone, so I like constantly clean my place.
Same here.
Yeah.
You constantly clean?
Don't want to
Constant-
live in filth.
Yeah, constantly clean.
I mean, I'm kind of the opposite of that. Like, no, I'm a total like I tend to be a slob, but it's just like when I clean, like I clean very thoroughly. So, but yeah.
Jack, what you got? Fun fact.
No, he already went.
I mean, sorry. Oh, sorry. Jack. Not Jack.
Walker.
Nicola. Walker.
All right. Today's fact for cola. Wow, that accent went places. But so Super Mario, the entire legacy of Super Mario has restricted its character development to make new characters, especially in the realm of, say, like Paper Mario, because they wanted to keep the characters really just within the same circle. So even though there's so many different characters introduced, they don't expand outside of that universe too much, besides just like main characters. But there's always going to be Mario, there's always going to be Peach, there's always going to be Bowser, and every single one.
They add like a few new characters, like
they do.
Princess
They add
Daisy.
characters, but some of them, like a lot of them, do not stick around because there's so many, and it's just like it's gonna be way too difficult to expand on them for like things like Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Expanded Universe.
Speaking of Nintendo, today's topic is life skills that you learned the hard way, but now do it better than everyone else. So the premise for this is not only in times of doubt, when people said that you couldn't do something, but also the times when you're pit up against a level of adversity, where you weren't prepared to handle something, but now you're doing it way better than everyone else. So Jack, why don't you start us off with this one?
All right. A life skill that I had to learn the hard way. For me, it would be writing. I couldn't write very well when growing up, but eventually, as I got older, through college and going through jobs, my writing eventually improved so that I can basically communicate better in writing than I can trying to at times speak. I guess it's because when you're forced to put down what's in your head on paper, you have to basically think through how to explain it in a very easy to understand and clear way that's straightforward and without too much fluff and whatever extra that you're thinking. So that's one thing I think I learned how to do the hard way, that I can basically do better than most people, because most people can't write. Like when you're reading something that someone's writing, sometimes you have to read it like several times to understand what they're saying, or try to go back and ask questions to figure out what certain things mean and stuff. I think writing clearly is a pretty important skill. That's a life skill that's pretty important to have, especially when you're dealing with everyday things like, work wise with your boss or your coworkers, or even to when you're dealing with life stuff like insurance and whatnot. Y'all agree?
Yeah.
It's pretty, yeah, it's a pretty important skill for sure. Was there any like sort of event or anything that put you in that position?
Yeah, basically when I was trying to take, I think high school kind of started at, because my writing sucked. uh they forced us to write so many essays and stuff, because I took like the advanced English courses. And so when I got back my first essay, it was like I couldn't understand what you're saying. You get like a D. I'm like, oh shit. And then I had to just keep on writing, and it eventually got better to where it's actually legible. And then later on, in college, my writing was actually a lot better, where I wrote way better than everyone in my English class that I took in college. And then I think from there on, in the going to jobs, I felt like my writing, I can pretty much take, if I understand the topic well enough, I can take the idea of the topic and then put it in a way that is easy to understand, given some time and some work. So yeah.
Cool. I mean, I have a similar story to that one too. It's just in regards to, I guess, not writing, but just English, English as a college course. Just because I had one teacher, she did not organize her lessons very well, but at the same time, it's like she actively like expressed prejudice against certain students. So
What?
yeah. So when it came to certain students, they pretty much got the harsher grades, and then this has been clearly going on with this person for a while, but it's just like, you're in college, you're just, first and foremost, you're just trying to fucking pass the class. So I was the type of dude that never did my homework. So like I really didn't give a shit about it. But when it came to everything else, I was fine until, like, you know, I guess the class was summed up in just like essay assignments. That was it. So when I wasn't doing homework, she basically shit on me directly as a person for not being able to do it. And then she was just like, well, you're probably unable to do it anyways. So so the last final that was there was basically like, you know, I did one essay. She, like, you know, filled out my name on it and everything. She gave me a pretty bad grade for it. And then the last paper, which was the final paper, I wrote my essay, but I didn't put my name on it. And so she was saying like, hey, there's a paper here, doesn't have a name on it, pretty good writing. I mean, no one wants to claim this grade. And then like, so I walked up to the front of the class, wrote my name on the paper, and then she's like, why are you claiming someone else's work? And I dropped my USB on her desk with the file in it, and I flipped her off.
This
And-
was in high school?
No, think
This was college. Yeah.
I flipped her off. And then it's like, yeah, my writing's actually fucking good. But then I actually took that energy and used that to, like, it allowed me to tap into this energy where it's just like, I can actually write a really good fucking paper if I'm passionate about, like, if I'm passionate enough about the energy I put into it. It's not even like a topic that I'm like passionate about. It's just like, as long as you fuel my hatred and my emotions, then it'll push me to new heights.
There we go. I think we got Walker's topic.
So, I mean, that's the kind of energy that's typically developed for me. It's just like, you know, don't ever fucking tell me who I am.
You got to have someone to like challenge you and make it tough, or it's a necessity to get better.
Yeah. So then I took that as a challenge to actually become better than most people. Now it's just like this whole like writing thing comes second nature to me. But in high school, I was also the same person. I didn't do my homework for shit. So I failed a lot of my classes. But,
Yeah, I wasn't good about doing homework, or I would push it off to the very end. It's like,
yeah,
especially with the amount of homework they give you. I'm like, damn, how do you find time to do that?
no, but it's just like, yo, like, you already had me for 8 hours a day. I'm not trying to extend my time here. But yeah, that's pretty much like one of those stories that I had tacked on, or I wanted to tack on to your topic, or your story, Jack, because it's just that was one of the few times that like I've been hit with that realization, and I took that energy and just like really ran with it. What do you got, Kola?
Mine is also related to class things. So I remember probably going to class and picking our assignments. And well, the thing is, like, we're supposed to write, oh, what do you think you're good at, blah blah blah. And you fill that out, your positions, and they made me do motion graphics for video. So they assigned me to that, which I didn't know how to do at the time. But I mean, I think I did end of the assignment working with the group. Like, I did a little bit of motion graphics, figuring out how to do that, but it was just pretty basic. But the thing is, like, I saw another classmate of mine do some actual motion graphics using After Effects. He did a really good job on that. I was surprised, like, how did you do that? Like, I kind of want to learn how to use the software. What was that?
What's his name? Walker.
Yeah. So it's like I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And I was hesitant, but I didn't learn it in college until afterwards. But like I was like, dang, I kind of like want to like kind of learn this a little bit. It might be useful. Um, might be useful later on, right? But I mean, eventually, like I already graduated and stuff like that, and but I ended up going to a community college, learning how to use After Effects. But from that one lesson, um, I managed to learn. I for that one lesson learned probably the basics. And after that, I started learning out my own. And then from there, like I just started working on projects. Some of them paid, and some of them are not. Like now, I just use it. Now I just do it for as a hobby. If anyone asks me to work on something, I normally, push something out within a week and send it out. But like as of right now, like I'm working on some. They asked me to do some motion graphic stuff at work. They want like motion graphics backgrounds for their Zoom calls. So they asked me to do that. So hopefully I can make some tasteful ones. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's like a better example of like how I dealt with it. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was cool learning how to use it.
What kind of event triggered you to go that route?
Just because I didn't know how to do it, I was kind of like I was seeing others people work, and I was like, shoot, I kind of want to learn how to use it. Once I learned how to use it, it was fairly easy how to use it and how to create those things in because not a lot of people know how to do it. So, but back in the day, but now like everyone can do it.
Can you describe what After Effects is?
So After
First
Effects,
off,
It's like a video editor, and you put special effects in.
um, basically, if you want like special treatment to your video, you can make graphic overlays. You can make stuff move in image, or you can add titles to your videos and stuff like that. So it's like
uh,
it's more of a it's adding special effects after you shoot it.
I've seen some
Oh,
YouTubers,
video editor.
TikTokers. Can they do like they use after? I think it was After Effects where they make some weird shit happen. Like they
You can
pull
make your
something out of
you can
the
make your
background and make it look like it's part of the foreground, or do some weird magic
yeah you
effects.
you can do you can put in lightsabers and anything. You can have lightning strike out of your fingers, just all that stuff.
What was like one of the videos that you did? Did you do something cool like that?
I think the only video I did where I used was like I think it was I got paid for it. I worked at an online dating site, but I made um, just basically just some basic stuff with the graphics and stuff. They really like it. Basically, it's like you know how those screenshots. I took the screenshots right and added like tilt filters and stuff like that to make it look like it's moving. So I had like a mouse cursor and have it moving up the screen and stuff like that. So it sees like it's clicking and stuff like that, but it's actually me working the After Effects afterwards.
So Cola made himself the only eligible bachelor on a date,
Yeah,
and he
as
made
a video example, it was me.
and he matched every woman to him.
I think the online dating site went out of business.
Because of that. Uh,
Have you seen like some of the stuff that's been going out there with using AI to create deep fake technology? Can you
yeah.
use After Effects to do that?
No, that's something else.
Oh, it's a different tool. Okay.
Yeah, it's a different tools that they use to do it. I'm not sure how they do it, but I'm kind of interested. I mean, you can do. I think you can do it on your phone now, but if you want like a good deep fake, you have to do some AI machine learning kind of shit to do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still remember. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with deepfakes, but it does have something to do with filters, in which there was like this 50-year-old Chinese woman that like used a filter to make her look like a freaking like 19-year-old model, and then like I guess she twitched the wrong way and it showed her real face. And it was on stream. I was just like, dude, that's creepy. Like, one of the weirdest ways to get catfished. But yeah,
Catfishing is now a thing.
no, right? It's fucking weird.
You can't trust the video that you're watching.
Can't trust anybody online.
It'll all be fake.
I mean, even like, but even now, it's like when it's real, like, people still flip out. It's just like when you see girls, like you see like YouTubers and stuff without their makeup, and people just start throwing shitstorms. It's like, dude, like the people. But yeah. So my story is one of those ones where it's just like it came completely out of left field for me, just because I didn't know I was going to head in that. I didn't know I was going to learn this skill, but when I did, it's just like literally no one did it better than me. But it came from when I worked one of my first jobs. Basically, I was just doing like basic rudimentary work. Shit was horrible every day. Did 20 minutes of work, 8 hours, nothing else to do, but sit there twiddling my thumbs, and started asking questions about like what else can I do, and I did it so much to where the owner of the company wanted to fire me for being annoying, and I was just like, oh, fuck, dude, I'm just trying to help. So they relocated me, and my other boss was also the same way, where he's just like, he got annoyed at me asking questions, but he didn't really control his temper all that well. So kind of the type of guy who would like throw things at people. But pretty much I was just like, y'all are fucking crazy. And, this is fucking bullshit. Because, I mean, for me, I'm just like, I'm not trying to work somewhere where I'm treated like shit. But it's like, I see you doing your work, and I know it doesn't require that much brain power to do your job. So, I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fucking learn what you do, like from the ground up, and go even further than that and learn what everyone else does. So I started connecting with everyone around the company, started figuring out their parts of the job, what it has to do with my bosses. And so I used that as a means to say like, okay, like whatever, what is my boss? Where does my boss put himself in this task? So I just said, okay, well, let me try doing that. And then when I started taking it over, my boss was like, oh yeah, shit, like less work for me and shit. And I got it down to a point where I basically turned that shit into a science. And also an art, because I did it better, faster, and more effectively than they did, and I didn't have to do shit. And then my days turned into like 4 hours of watching YouTube and shit. But it's like, I made the job that much better and that much easier, and they all become incredibly reliant on me. Like I was pretty much one of those people that was holding all the company information together. So again, one of those, it's definitely one of those things where I'm just like, fuck you to everyone here. But it's also like, like, again, don't tell me like, don't tell me who I fucking am. I know who I am, it's just, I can get shit done, and I know how shit works. Just point me in a like I can just be pointed in a direction and I'll make something out of it. But I ended up becoming the inventory manager, in which no one ever could refute any of my ideas that I ever threw out. So I felt like that was the ultimate power move on my end, because when it came down to it, I was able to use that as a means to ask for like a lot more hefty raises than everyone there. and they couldn't deny me. So yeah, but to this day, still could do it better than anyone there. Just kind of nice, and you know, it also allowed me to be better than people at other companies, because when I started taking that shit to New Horizons, a lot of people faced a lot of the same issues that they didn't know about, that only I knew about. So
So it was nice to have a skill that you could take with you
yeah,
to other jobs.
yeah, and it was like literally developed from nothing, because it was just, you know, just taking something and just like running with it, but using that energy, that event, that's adversity to push you forward.
Walker, the inventory management specialist. That's the thing, though. Like once you get high up in your career, maybe specializing in one particular niche
Yeah.
could benefit you a lot in the long run. Since a lot of times, some companies might need someone that is a specialist in that sort of skill set.
Yeah, and it's very numbers dictated, but at the same time, like you need a good imagination to kind of know how things will work. So having a blend of that in with it kind of, you know, gives you a lot of options in terms of play. But have you guys ever thought about taking your stuff to necessarily like a new level? Like, you ever thought about starting your own gig, your own business with it?
I've considered it a while, maybe starting my own company or something like that, or trying like a project, but I need an idea that I can really devote time to and like really focus on it. Also, trying to find the time to get it started, because for me, I don't want to just leave the company I'm with and then start the project. I want to try to start the project a little bit and get it going and seeing how it works. And then sort of as that starts to pick up, then maybe I can quit and then just focus full time on it. Like ease out and then ease in to the other job.
Do you think you're
Because
good?
that's how a lot of people do like the startups is usually it's something on the side where there's this tool or this app or this game they want to make, so they start working on it on the side while they're still doing their job, their day job, and as it starts picking up traction, then they'll start moving to it full time. Like for example, Stardew Valley, I think the guy who made it, it's all made by one guy. He was working a bunch of random jobs but kept on working on Stardew Valley on the side, and then as it got more popular, he started moving to working on Stardew Valley full time.
I mean, shit.
Was it free in the beginning?
No, it actually there was some. I think he released some betas out there just to get interest and to get people to sort of test it, and then he started making it paid. But then, if you want to play it on different consoles and platforms, you'd have to pay for it. So that's how he ended up making money and was able to move full time to it.
Dude made a killing off of that too. Well, you, Cola?
Eventually, probably do a lot of ingestion stuff only because we're also dealing with, because large content companies, they have other companies managing their video assets and stuff like that, but sometimes they do a terrible job at it. They don't do a thorough job at that. So, well, but I mean, yeah, just think about like, why not start doing that, managing these media companies content, right? Delivering it to them to wherever it should be going or something like that. I think we can, I mean, because the people that we deal with there, I mean, they're having a hard time with like how to format things and stuff like that. And I don't understand how they could be in the business for so long and not figure it out. But I was just thinking about, maybe I should poach these clients and hey, I got something better if we can manage it for you for less, blah blah blah, and we get it quicker and faster.
I mean, that's where it's at. Like, you do it as a consultant. I mean, yeah, for sure. Feel like I honestly feel like I can move that direction and just be a straight consultant for everything I specialize in. Just because it's so simple, but it's such a complex concept for people that it's not many people can do it. And it's just like, building stuff like that from the ground up is so much more simple for me now. But
Yeah.
all right,
Consulting though. Oh, my bad.
we're at less than a minute. Thank you guys for joining us this week. We out.
All right. Later.
Okay, guys.